Ezra Levant for Rebel News. I am in Lahaina, Maui, where a ferocious wildfire has consumed so much of the community, but so much of the community remains. They have such a big heart. And we're here to do journalism, but we came across a community relief camp, is how I would describe it, in Honokawai Park. And what's so amazing to me is it's citizens helping citizens. There's no government agencies here. It's severely normal Mauians rallying together. And I just want to introduce you to the woman who is organizing with so many other volunteers, Amber Vaughn. Amber, pleasure to meet you.
Thank you for being here, and thank you for helping us.
Well, we came here to do news, but we were moved by the situation and by your moral example. Tell us a little bit about what is going on in this camp, and then we're going to tell our viewers how to help, because we've actually set up a crowdfunding page that I'm so excited about. But first, maybe give us in a minute or two, what are the things you're doing here for the community, both right here and a few miles down the road who were burned?
Yeah, so Honokawai Park is about 5 miles north from where the center of the fire was in Old Town Lahaina. So this area that we've set up popped up by people fleeing the fire and coming uphill to find their friends and family. So we learned of the fire by people coming up and shouting to the buildings for their friend and just saying, "I lost everything." So we started moving people to the park to feed them, people coming out of their houses with different food, setting up a barbecue is how this all started, barbecue and picnic tables. And we've rapidly grown to support the community to the point that we now have a medical tent. We have procedures around getting medications delivered through couriers and people in their cars. We are setting up a school tent for the children. They had 1 week of school when this happened, so they were barely getting to know their teachers and friends. So we've set up a specific tent that is, we're pretending it's school. We're telling them they're coming to school every day and getting some lessons started. We also have a sacred space here where our Native Hawaiians have blessed the land, and they're working on people, helping them process trauma that way. We obviously have food being donated, hot food and pantry items being donated constantly. We had clothing items. We're no longer in need of clothing items at these satellite locations. We're asking those to go to the more formal shelter areas. We're getting information. So we have an information station that consists of my 2 Chromebooks and a printer. And we're starting to get people the information of how to file for different relief efforts, but we're getting information on how the laws and things are changing very quickly. It's a very dynamic environment. Just today we learned there's a moratorium on mortgage payments. People are so worried about making a rent payment on September 1st. We're getting the information on that just to calm their minds and ease their souls that you're not getting kicked out of your house on September 1st, and that there's rental assistance and help coming in that way. But this is a community coming out of our homes, and the people who are living in cars are coming out of their cars. We come together to organize the supplies that are being dropped off for us, and try and normalize things for the kids, and collectively process the trauma of what's happened.
Well, it's very interesting what you're doing, and your team gave us sort of a shopping list today. I was surprised by how much kids stuff was there, but I guess they are the most important part of this, so it was very interesting. Tell us, the crowdfund goal is $25,000. Can you outline some of the things that your team needs to buy? I see there's some donated things, many donated things, but what will you do with those $25,000?
Great question. I will start with a few thank yous. We have the Rotary Club and Maui Pono have donated Starlinks for us, and so this is our communication center off of those donations. Today you were so kind to come in and take one of our volunteers to Target and help build out our little school, our pretend school, to keep our kids happy. We have about 30 kids in this neighborhood. So it'll fluctuate from 20 to 30 kids coming down. They're helping. It's amazing to watch them help, but our first action item is to get things normalized and get kids occupied and creative and helping us build signs and pick up trash. Beyond that, any additional funds that we get, we're going to share with Maui Rapid Response. And these are people going from satellite station to satellite station between the shelters. They have communication with the government and really speaking to the people's needs for collectively. So the donations will initially go to us here at the park to build out our infrastructure, more tables, more tents, kid supplies, ways to keep us organized. And then after that, we'll be sharing with Maui Rapid Response because they have a pulse on what we're doing.
All right. Well, there you have it. We're crowdfunding $25,000 for the Hanakawai Park relief. Any surplus, you heard how it'll be spent. It really feels like there's a tremendous need. You can't see the burnt parts from here, but we just drove by them and they're shocking. And in terms of the grief, we don't yet know the death toll, but it is traumatic is an understatement. It's been a pleasure to watch Amber and her team work today. If you want to help, by the way, all the funds are being handled in a third-party crowdfund website called Give, Send, Go. And the only people with access to those funds will be Amber and her team. Rebel News, our role is simply to spread the word, which is what we love to do. And I personally, it was a great pleasure to go with one of your volunteers today and buy some of those kids' items. And I'm so glad we checked, because what I thought you might need is not what you really needed. So it was a wonderful opportunity. Amber, I wish you good luck. Folks, please chip in if you can. I want to get it right, HanakawaiRelief.com. You can see the URL at the bottom of this video. And let's do something. We're here to tell the news stories. And as you know, Lincoln and Alexa have been here a couple days. They're doing real news, and that's our main purpose. But every once in a while, we see something that we have to stop and not just, be voyeurs. We have to stop and help heal the world just a little bit. And I don't care what race or religion or political party you are. Out here, there's only human beings, and it's beautiful to see people helping people. Last word to you, Amber.
Thank you for thinking of us, and thank you for supporting our family in this time of need.
Well, it's been a pleasure, and to watch you has been inspirational. There you have it, folks. Go to HanakawaiRelief.com, and let's help these folks.